Right, king of the free weight exercises. We've got the deadlift today that I'm going to show you. So deadlift is a fantastic exercise for loads of things really. It strengthens something that we refer to as your posterior chain. So your posterior chain are all the muscles that kind of link the entire posterior of your body. So going from your calves, your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back muscles, which the erector spinae, the lats, the traps, the rear delt. So it's literally the entire posterior of your body. Now, why is that good? Well, numerous reasons for that really. One of those is that those are the most important muscles that are responsible for jumping really high, sprinting really fast, and even in contact sports, a lot of when you're striking, whether it's punching or kicking, is coming from the force and the power behind the posterior chain. One of the biggest reasons why people have sick days from work is lower back injuries. So by strengthening your lower back, doing your deadlifting, you're less likely to injure your back and have sick days from work. So really, really good exercise, deadlift. So we've got some adjustments. We've got obviously the weight plate. So bearing in mind this is an Olympic bar, that's 20 kilos. So if you're new to deadlifting, you might want to use what we call bumper plates, which are big plates, but they're very light. You know, you can get some that's as little as 1 kilogram. So you can use those if you want. You've got your collars there. So we've got the bar, the weights, the collars. Just watch me. Okay, so what I did was I stepped up to the bar. You get your feet as close to you get your feet under the bar and you get your shins as close to the bar as you can. Your foot position is usually going to be the same position that you put your feet if you were going to jump. So most people plant their feet hip distance or slightly wider with the toes turned out. So it's a really good strong base. So that's your position for your deadlift. You keep the bar close to your body because you want to keep it close to your center of gravity. And if you're lifting a really heavy weight, which you will be doing eventually on a deadlift, is you want it to take the shortest flight path possible. So if the bar's out there, it's got to come towards you and then up. Whereas if the bar's close to you, it's just going to go up and down. So that was the first thing. And then I took an overhand grip. Make sure my back's in that safe, sensible position before I lift. Drive the heels in and pull. Okay, so that's the lift. And then when I lower the bar, first thing I'm thinking in my head is sticking my bum out. I roll the bar down my thighs. When it gets to my knees, I flex the knees, roll it down the shins. Touch the floor, back up. Okay. Now, some people will hit the floor, come back up. Personal preference, I don't like doing that. I like to touch the floor gently and then come back up because I like to have tension on the bar the whole time. I like to feel tension in the muscles. When you hit the floor, you get a ground reaction force, the bar wants to go back up, so it does help with it. If you're trying to beat your PB and you want to get as much weight as possible, then I guess it's worth hitting the ground. But for me, I just like to know I've always got control of the bar. So that is your deadlift. Now there are variations. You can go for a sumo deadlift if you want to. So you can go with your feet much, much wider. So you can take your feet much wider than shoulder hip apart, toes turn right out. Keep looking forward, drop down. You're going to make that, maintain a much more upright posture with this one. Grab hold of the bar and lift. Now a good little teaching point on this one is, as you're lifting, try and push the ground apart. And what I mean by that is, imagine there was a crack down the middle, you're driving the ground apart. Now, It was actually Jordan Syatt that taught me that, not personally. I just watched one of his videos one day, and he's obviously a very good powerlifter, so it was a great tip, and it definitely works. It means you can lift that a little bit more. So good teaching point for that one. Why do we do a sumo deadlift? Mainly personal preference, actually. Some people prefer, they feel more comfortable in that position than they do with the standard deadlift. Some people can lift more with a sumo, some people will lift less. I lift less, I prefer the standard deadlift. But technically, you're actually starting in a lower position, so the bar's not having to go quite so high. So it kind of makes sense that you'd be able to lift more because you don't have to lift it so far from the ground. Doesn't work that way with me, but it might do for you. So try them both. There's not one that's necessarily better than the other, really. Just try one for a bit. When you've done that, try the other one. That's your deadlift.